All right, welcome back, everybody. Families have been reeling after the discovery that the graves of their loved ones have been reused. The Commission for the Promotion and Protection of the Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Rights of Communities has released a report on the matter. In studio now, we have their CEO, Thoko Mkwanazi-Xaluva. It's so good to have you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. I'm actually the chairperson.
Please.
Before the CEO kills me.
Okay. Let's do that. Please do not put that super under you. We'll change that to chairperson. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much for joining us here on the program. You decided to look into the matter after receiving quite a few complaints now. What were some of the findings?
You know, we received many complaints, a flood actually of complaints. And some of the findings were that, yes, it has happened. People's graves have been reused. If you don't have a tombstone within 10 years, they then put in another person, take your bones, bury them deeper, and then put somebody else on top of you. And communities have complained that their cultural and African religion rights are being violated because they need to go to the graves to connect with their ancestors. Now, if the remains have been tampered with, it affects their belief systems. And we then looked at it and we spoke to the eThekwini municipality, especially where this is very rife, although we've had one or two from Eguruleni, complaints from Eguruleni, but where we've had hundreds, really, of complaints has mainly been eThekwini municipality. So we've been looking at how we can find a middle road, if possible, to make sure that people's rights are not violated.
Yeah.
But what we've found is that eThekwini municipality has caused a lot of damage in people's lives in terms of their belief systems.
Yeah. Graves are very sacred to a lot of communities, and we know this. I mean, it's part of religion, it's part of culture to have bodies buried. How has this affected families that have actually come forward? How are they feeling about this?
People have been totally traumatized. The people who have spoken to, some of them, you know, they'll tell you the story and break down, and people feel when you don't know where the remains of your loved ones are, where you don't know where to go to, because you find that there's already a tombstone there and you don't know where to go to. And I think this comes back from the days of the TRC.
Yeah.
If you look at the TRC process, most people just wanted the remains to bury them so that you know where your loved ones are and you can go and interact with them if you want to, or you can go just to lay the flowers and acknowledge that this is where they lie. So the issue of where your parents are, where your siblings are, where your grandparents are, is a very emotive issue.
Yeah. How big is the problem? How rife is it? I mean, you've broken it down a little bit for us, but is this a very common occurrence around the country?
Not really around the country. We haven't received many complaints, as I said, a little bit from Eguruleni.
Okay, so
but it's very rife
but it is happening.
in Eguruleni.
But it's happening.
It's happening.
Why? What would you think is the reason? Is it a space issue?
It's a space issue, mainly. It's also, you know, being reckless. Because what we're discovering is that some municipalities are already reusing graves. But it's the family that says, okay, we want to bury so-and-so. And then the municipality will give you an option of whether you go 50 kilometers away or you can then reuse the grave of a relative. So in that way, you're not tampering with the belief systems. Because if I'm buried with my mother or with my husband, then at least we know it's the same family, and when we want to do whatever rituals, we can then access both parents from the same space.
Yeah.
But the problem with the eThekwini municipality is that they bury anybody anywhere without giving the option to the families to choose. We've also looked at other experiences from around the country. We've discovered that it's happening in Cape Town. in places like Langa, in townships, but it's the families that then say, bury this one here and this one there. So that is culturally acceptable.
It's the family that needs to give consent. You need to approach the family. You just can't go ahead and do something.
Yes.
But space for graveyards has been a problem within our cities for quite some time now. And we were talking a little bit about cultural beliefs, religious beliefs, and the issue of burying as opposed to cremation. Now, here in Africa, I know that burying is still the tradition, and cremation, I imagine, is a lot less. Could we ever see the shift, the change? Would that happen? Is that a solution?
You know, things change, and people's belief systems change, but it only happens when people are ready. You don't push people. Some Africans are cremating already. There's been an increase in that trend, and we're really encouraging those that feel they're ready for it to actually do it. But those that are not ready for it, let them get there when they get there, but not to push them towards that.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you for talking to us about this issue. It's a sensitive issue, and it certainly is an issue that no family wants to go through. You go and visit a grave and you find that somebody else is buried there, and it's not something that you want. You want your family and your memories to be sacred with the body. But do you believe in cremation, or is it still burial that you believe in? We'd love to hear from you. Write to us at Morning Live SABC. Now, Thoko Mkwanazi-Xaluva is the chairperson of the Commission for the Promotion and Protection of the Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Rights of Communities. All right, let's take a break.